Hello YouTube, Ninjoseph here for a Minecraft Redstone tutorial. So today I'm going to just be covering the basics of Redstone so that you can get started on building bigger things like these. So let's just get started. So first you're going to want to load up your inventory with things like, redstone dust, redstone repeater, redstone torch, block of your choice. I usually go stone. You're also going to want sticky piston, a piston, and then an input device. I like buttons, but you don't really need them. And that's all that we should need for right now. So redstone, I'm sure you're all familiar with what it is, but in case you aren't, redstone is a way of kind of giving electricity to Minecraft. So what it does is, when you have an input device like a button, it will power the redstone, which will give power to things like redstone lamps or pistons, which will move blocks and stuff, like so. Alright, there we go. Yeah, my computer's lagging a little bit, sorry about that, guys. So, now, a redstone torch is kind of like a battery. It will be on and giving power all the time. So if you have something like a piston, the piston will stay like that. Of course, if you put power into the block that the torch is on, like this, or if it were on the side of the if like the torch right there on the side of the block, clicking that button, giving power to that block, will turn off the torch. So it inverts the signal. Alright, so repeaters, what they do is, because redstone will only will stay a current for 14 blocks of dust, what will happen is, unless you have like a piston or something at block 15, it will not carry the signal anymore. So let me just show you that real quick, how it dies off. See how it's like getting dimmer and dimmer as you go on? What repeaters do is, they have multiple functions. A, they reboot the signal so it's bright red again, so it can go for another 14 things before it would die. Also, it acts like a diode, if you know what that is. If you don't, well, don't worry about it. You don't need to. So let's say I'm building something and I have like 5 inputs going into the same wire, but I don't want the last input to trigger the first few things to happen. That's where diodes or redstone repeaters as diodes come in. So if I want input coming in over here, I press a button. If I don't want it back here, it will not go that direction. That's what this little arrow that you see on the repeater is for. See? So the other thing that they act for is a delay. So if you want to press the button but not have the redstone signal go off for like 5 seconds, if you just right click the repeater, it will give it another tick of delay, because it automatically has 1 tick of delay. So watch, like this. Let me just set this up. Right here and right here. Alright, so now if we get out of here, redstone dust. Alright, so now if we connect these two right here and put the input device, see how the left one fired and then the right one? So, phew, okay. So that's one other thing they are used for, and that can also be used in a way to lengthen a signal. Like if you saw the button only lasted like 2 seconds or something like that. Well, if you want this signal to go here, right, but you wanted it to be lengthened, you can then go like this and add some repeaters and do this till you get to however long you want. And now, if we put redstone dust here, and put a button there, when we press the button, once the button pulls out, it's still powered for like half a second more because of the repeaters. So they can be used to lengthen the signal also. So now that you know a little bit about what each item does, pistons and sticky pistons, pistons move things, sticky pistons will also pull blocks back. So I'm going to teach you some of the basics of redstone mechanics. I'm just going to pop out a pressure plate for this too. So, a simple circuit is what I've been showing you thus far. It's just input then output. Well, sometimes you'll have times where it's not just a simple circuit. You need to have more than that. Well, in order to do things, you want to have more than that. Like this. This is what we call an AND gate. You need to be standing on the pressure plate and pressing the button at the same time. It's an AND gate. Now there are many variants of this, ranging in all different sizes and types and stuff. And of course you can invert it if you want. So if you want it to like open a door or something, you would then invert it or whatever. And then we're gonna put this piston in right here. So if I just step on this pressure plate, nothing happens. Well, this redstone torch over here turns off, but that one's still on. If I just press this button over here, nothing happens. But if I step on this pressure plate and press this button, the piston fires. Or if we didn't invert the signal, the piston would be fired already and then would retract when we're done. That's called an AND gate. That's a very common thing. And you can do more than just two signals. You can also have a third one like, you can have a third one like right up here kind of thing and just have power running to that too. So you'd have to hit 3 things or whatever. There's many different ways you can do it. You can also have it where there's like 40 blocks lined up next to a huge line of redstone and each of them has a torch on them or something like that. Now there's what we call an OR gate, where it can be either the press the button or the pressure plate, but not both. So I'm gonna so an OR gate is basically you can either press this or that. If both are activated, which I'm just going to do right here real quick. If both are activated, which would be represented by both of these torches going out, then we would have this torch turn on, which would do something like push this piston that's right here. I'm probably overcomplicating it, but it's a good way to show it, which would push this piston over this block of redstone, making it so that current cannot flow through. And then also having like a repeater come this way right here. Give me a second. Stupid lag. Alright. Yeah, I'm running this on a really old laptop, so that plus the video capture software is lagging it up pretty bad. So we probably have it running here and then have redstone running from here to here. And that works as an XOR gate and an OR gate. So, and then our thing would be like this little piston here. So if I press the button, it will go through. If I step on this, if I step here, it will go through. But if I press both, it will retract. Because if I press both, then the piston pops out. It makes a lot more sense if you're using switches, but I don't like using switches, or levers, what if you want to call them that. Alright, so those are OR gates are rarely ever used, but I mean, if you really get into like building computers and stuff, you may use them a few times. AND gates are a very common thing to use, just because then it's not just this or that or that or that. It's you have to do all of them. So it's good for up, hidden button here, hidden lever here, hidden this here, hidden that there. So, so if somebody sees you do one, they won't be able to get in or whatever. So that's always nice for doing AND gates. Now, what this is my bad, is an RS NOR latch. It acts kind of like a circuit breaker or a memory unit kind of thing. If you know about binary code, which you should, it's just 1 zeros. If you know, like 1 is on, 0 is off kind of thing, then you know enough about coding in binary for this. So an RS NOR latch, you would have like an input device B right here. So you'd have it, so when they press the correct button, input here, and when they do the wrong button, it wouldn't input. Or when they do the wrong button, it would input over here, which would be a reset. I'm just putting this because chances are you're going to do that, so if they get it right, since power is coming off of that, it will, ta-da, not go through. So you'd also have a reset. So basically what would happen is you'd have it so, oh, and then of course you'd have your output, which would be display this or open this door using this redstone. So it'd be like, if they power this, see how it flipped like that, and now this is on, that's off, and now if I remove this torch, this stays on. It's just that's what an RS NOR latch is. So it'll just flip and then reset, and it's back to its original position. Alright, well, so that's what an RS NOR latch is. They're very important for doing computers and stuff like that, and because you want stuff to stay like that from the press of a button instead of having to do a lever. So now what I'm showing you right here is a T flip-flop. What those are is you take 2 pistons, one here, one here, and generally you don't always have to do it, but for the most part you'll be doing it like this. You'll just have a broken block under there and have a redstone torch, and then you'll have a block there, 2 blocks up here, and then you'll get redstone torches, put one here, one here. This lag sucks. And then putting redstone up there. So then when you'd have an input, which would be power put into that torch, that redstone up there, like this, they flip like that. Now this acts like a lever because basically you press the button in and ta-da, now power is coming out here or the other side or whatever, and then press the button again, now it's not. Press it again, it's on. It's kind of like a flashlight, how you press the button, the like button flashlights, and they'll pop on. This is very important because it's also good at storing information kind of thing, but be careful when using these and these. The RS NOR latches and the T flip-flops, know the difference, because if you use one in place of another, it'll mess up your whole machine. Alrighty then, so that's about it for the basics of the redstone little gates and stuff. Like this video, subscribe for more redstone tutorials or just Minecraft in general. Thanks for watching.